Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
It's about seeking truth. It's about speaking truth. It's about keeping it real. That's what we do at Truth Seeker Nation. We keep it 100. Real talk all the time. Let's get it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Truth Seeker Nation podcast. My name is Tawana, and I am your host. Because of the straightforward nature of today's topic, this one is going to be a lot shorter than some of the others, which I'm sure you don't mind, but it's going to be a lot more concise because it's so straightforward. But I wanted to get it out there just to give you something to think about. Let's start with the definition of the word authority, which is the power or right to give orders, make decisions, and enforce obedience. We've been talking about being governed by other people, and we know that these people in this position of governing us, that they have authority. They have the authority to do what they're doing. But when we break down the meaning of this word, this means that they have the power or right. So let's first start with defining the word right. Just two of the definitions that kind of apply. The first one is acceptable, and the second one is true or correct as a fact. When we think about this authority, we know that they don't have the right, as in it's a fact, it's something that just is the case. They don't have the right to make laws and enforce our obedience in the same way our parents did. Our parents' authority existed because they were the ones who brought us into the world, the ones caring for us. So the authority they had over us was more reminiscent of the way things work in nature with animals, right? The way that works. Depending on what species it is, it could be both parents, it could be just the mother or just the father that is responsible and that has this authority over its offspring. So it's just like in nature. In other words, our parents' authority over us would have been natural. When it comes to these people, that is not the case. It is not natural, it's not automatic. Okay, it could only exist because it has been accepted by us. So that was the other definition of the word right, acceptable. So it has been accepted. This means that we are willingly submitting to this. But more importantly, let's think about the word power, because it said authority is to have this power or right. Now, I don't want to focus on the definition of the word power as much as I want to talk about the two different ways power can be attained, as well as what power actually is. Now, power can be achieved in one of two ways. It can either be taken or it can be given. If it were taken, it would be the equivalent of some type of dictator coming and taking power by force and maybe having some strong military presence to back them. But in our case, that is not what is going on. This power that these people have is something that we have given. It is something that we are allowing them to have over us. But when we look at power and we begin to break that down, we will know or be able to see that there is a big difference between having power and being power. And the best example that I can give would be think about an electrical outlet. The electrical outlet is power. Your cell phone has power, which means that your cell phone would have to get the power from being plugged in to the electrical outlet. It cannot get it if it doesn't if it's not plugged in, right? Which means that the cell phone could be depleted of power if it is not plugged in long enough. In addition, the cell phone is not self sustainable. It does not have power in and of itself. It needs to charge. So it's clear from this analogy to be able to see that the one that is power, or the thing that is power, is greater than that which has power, because one feeds the other. One is more powerful. One cannot exist without the other. However, the one that is power stands alone. It doesn't need anything. The one that has power needs that power source. Okay. So thinking about this in terms of what we've been talking about consent, we are consenting to being governed by other people. Whether we did this knowingly or willingly or not, it doesn't matter. That is the situation we are in. But to consent is the equivalent of allowing these people to plug it in. In other words, plug into this electrical outlet, plug into the source, us, because we are the source of their power. A king, a queen, a dictator, a president, a police officer, none of these people would have authority over us if we did not recognize that authority. If we looked at them as individuals, the individuals that they are, just people, just adults, then they are like everyone else to us. But it's when we look at them as though they have authority, that is what is providing them with this power. Okay? They are getting it from us, our belief about who and what they are. So we have to change that belief. We have to turn that around and now become power. Like I've said before, become power. See, right now we are the power source, but we are not standing in that power and owning that power. And we're not recognizing that we are the power source. So they are just plugging it in, okay, for lack of a better term, since I'm using that example with the cell phone, they are just plugging into us, feeding off of our energy and our belief about what they are. But if we reframe that and start to realize that we are the power source and without us, none of this could exist, that is what would put us in the position of being power or being powerful, right? So we have to look within ourselves for the resolve, for the determination, for the strength, for the will to be able to stand up and do that. And realize that we are the power source. We don't have to continue to feed them. We don't have to continue to allow them to have this authority over us. It's up to us what goes on from here on. Okay? We can say no, no more. We do not consent to this. That means we are taking away your power. You will be depleted. Okay? You cannot be sustained without us. Right? And so once that happens, we are then put in the position of power, and they will be depleted of the power because they needed us all along. Yes, they try to make it seem like we need this government, right? We need this system in place so that we will be safe and comfortable and will have all of our lives organized. We need them more than they need us. However, that is the furthest thing from truth. It is the opposite. They need us in order to function. So let's reframe our thoughts about this and realize that we are that power source, and we do not have to allow these people to get that power from us. because that authority would disappear. We would no longer recognize it, which means they would no longer have it over us. If they believe that they have it, that's on them. We don't have to worry about what they got going on in their mind. That don't have anything to do with us and how we're moving. So we just need to focus on ourselves, getting ourselves to the right place and realizing who we are and what we are. And we have the ability to do this. We have the ability to become power, to become powerful. And that is all I wanted to share with you all today. I hope that you appreciated this and enjoyed this episode. And I look forward to speaking with you again next week. Have a wonderful week.
Wake up.
It's about seeking truth. It's about speaking truth. It's about keeping it real. That's what we do at Truth Seeker Nation. We keep it 100. Real talk all the time. Let's get it.